The iPhone SE has gotten a lot of mixed feedback since it was announced by Apple. A lot of people are very disgusted with the fact that people want a 4-inch device. I think that's kind of unwarranted. This device has fantastic specs: A9 chip, 2 gigs of RAM, 12 megapixel rear-facing camera with 4K video recording. It has all of the basic specifications of the 6S, but it's in a package that's much more compact and one that has better battery life than the 6S. I think one of the issues that people have with it is the old form factor. Okay, it's the same basic design as the 5S. Well, I think that's a very comfortable form factor. I think it looks really good. I like it better than the 6 and 6S design personally. It also means that there are already a whole slew of accessories that work with it because it's the same form factor as the 5S. So I don't really have a problem with it being the same design. I also don't really understand, again, why people have such hatred for smaller screen devices. I have no interest in having a tablet in my pocket. My device is used for communication, phone calls, text messages. It's really very nice to be able to have something that's very small and light and easy to access right in my pocket that I can use with one hand if I'm on the train, for instance, and holding onto the rail. I can't really do that with the 6S. There's lots of finagling in my hand to be able to touch all the buttons that I need access to. So I really like that 4-inch form factor. One thing, for instance, today I was on a FaceTime video chat for an hour. It drained over 30% of my battery life. With the SE in that smaller form factor, it's not going to affect battery as much because, again, the screen is smaller. Certainly the counter argument would be I couldn't see as much on a 4-inch display, but is the utility difference big or even noticeable for me? Probably not. But the fact that I have, in the 60s versus maybe in the 70s or 80s with battery life on a smaller screen device does matter to me because I need that device to last from when I wake up until, for instance, tonight, 2 a.m. So that's something that's very important to me. Now, there are a couple things that I'm just very clueless about for the SE. Two things in particular. First of all, first generation Touch ID on this device. Secondly, the front-facing camera didn't get the 6S system. It has a 1.2 megapixel front-facing camera. I don't understand why they did that. I mean, you already have these components, the second gen Touch ID and the 5 megapixel FaceTime HD camera components being built for you for the 6S. It just does not make a lot of sense. The one thing that also isn't included on the SE, 3D Touch, honestly, I could live without it. I have it on the 6S. Occasionally I use it to get quick access to the settings to get to battery so that I can turn power saving mode on. But otherwise I don't really need 3D Touch. So for me, the SE is an extremely interesting device, one that I really, really like, because for my use cases it's fantastic, it'll have better battery life, and it's much more pocketable. I think my next device might be the iPhone SE, and if it is, I'd consider it an upgrade from the 6S and not a downgrade. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to click subscribe below to stay up to date on the latest and greatest videos from my channel.